Hello everyone, this is Dr. Rukmini Chaudhary. We will be talking about mastitis. So in this video, we will be covering everything about mastitis, that what is mastitis, how does it happen, what are the causes, then types, what symptom you have, what all suffering you have when you have mastitis, and what are the prevention, what are the best steps you can follow to prevent this problem, and what are the best treatment available. We will be talking about home treatment. You can try some home remedies, some basic steps, and we will be talking about allopathic part of treatment, and lastly we will be discussing about best effective homeopathic medicine. Mastitis, you are supposed to watch complete video for complete information. So first we will be talking about definition. What is mastitis? See, mast is the word used for the breast tissue, and itis is the inflammation. So this is the inflammation of breast tissue. So in this problem you have hard redness, and there is a excessive swelling in your breast tissue. Now we will be talking about that usually it happens in lactating female, the female who breastfeed their newly born baby. Usually it happens, otherwise it can also affect non-lactating female, and rare to rarest it is also in man. So this is the problem mastitis when you have, and usually it affects only one breast. So this is unilateral. Usually only one breast is affected at a time. So now we will be talking about the causes of mastitis. What are the causes, what are the risk factors that lead to mastitis, that cause the mastitis. See, there are two, we can call it the types or the classification or the causes. One is the milk stagnation, right, and the other one is the bacterial inflammation. So first we will be talking about the milk stagnation. So this is, if we talk about, this is your the milk gland, and this is your milk duct, and via the milk duct milk is discharged in the nipple. So ultimately you have milk discharge. So if due to any reason, due to any cause, if the breast, your milk duct is blocked or clogged, so there is no proper milk discharge, and there can be milk stagnation. Can be accumulation of the milk stagnation can be there, and this can lead to the breast tissue infection. So number one is your accumulation of the milk, and this can happen due to any reason, due to your tight clothing, if you wear tight clothes, due to any kind of pressure, improper contact with the infant, newly born baby, or baby is not able to suck properly, lead to the mastitis problem. So now the second one is infection, that is bacterial infection. See, normally there are bacteria, but they cannot infect the tissue. Why? Because you have intact, your skin is intact, but due to any reason, if your nipple is hard, they are cracked, there is a break in the skin, so it's easy to get infected there and to create problem. So when they get infected, then there is an accumulation of milk, so they provide the medium. The accumulation of milk is the medium for the bacterial growth. So bacteria can easily grow there, and they can cause further infection, further inflammation, and that is the staphylococcus is blamed frequently. Now we will be breastfeeding, or we can call non-lactating female can also develop mastitis when they are in their late 20s or their early 30s, but only who are smokers they can have. And even there are the cases after nipple piercing you can develop mastitis. If your nipple piercing was unprofessional, untrained, not properly trained person bad, so you can develop also mastitis. So what all suffering, what are the signs and symptoms you have. So this is the mastitis. It means the inflammation, infection. So when we talk about the inflammation, there are redness, there are swelling, swelling there, redness is there, swelling is there. When you touch the area, there is a heat, area is heated. And if you have bacterial infection, so there can be pus accumulation, there can be abscess, and if you have abscess, you can have you can develop fever. So flu-like symptom you can have. There is a malaise, weakness, body ache, malaise you can have. So these suffering you can have. Rest symptom depend on the case, that how severe your case is and what are the history you have, what all history you have. So it can vary from patient to patient. The diagnosis part, what are the tests you are supposed to go through, and what all are the basic steps. So first is your physical examination. So it is fairly diagnosable by looking through or by the physical examination. And if you have if your treatment is not responding, your treatment, your symptoms are not getting better, if your treatment is not responding, then there is a further test that can be done for the ruling out of the cancer. Why? Because breast inflammatory cancer symptoms resemble with the mastitis. So ruling out of the breast inflammatory cancer is a must step. So you can go through some biopsy test. If you are not responding with treatment, biopsy means tissue sample can be taken out and can be studied for the further diagnosis, and FNAC can be done, or your milk sample can be taken and can be studied for the particular type of the infection, and you can get particular type of treatment examining that. Now we will be talking about the complication part. See, if you are not responding with the treatment, and if you are not taking your treatment at the required time, so there can be complication, means your symptoms can be more worse and they can affect other organ as well. So you are supposed to take your treatment as early as possible. So first thing is recurrence. If you are not taking treatment at early, and so this can recur at a time, and if you taken the treatment but not adequate treatment, so if your treatment was not at the time, was not adequate, so you can develop it again and again. So recurrence can be there, and there can be abscess formation. As we discussed, there can be accumulation of pus. So accumulation of pus, there can be abscess formation, and lately if you are not treating it at all, then there can be sepsis. We call it septicemia. This is the emergency condition. In this you must see your doctor. So these are the complications. Now we will be talking about the treatment part. See, what are they available in allopathy, in homeopathy, and the home treatment. First we will be talking about home treatment. See, if we analyze the the case of the mastitis, the thing is this happen obviously in the breastfeeding female. So you are supposed to improve your breastfeeding techniques, we call it. So first you are supposed to plenty of rest. So you are supposed to take plenty of rest, and if you are lactating, so there is a fluid discharge from your body. So you are supposed to have enough of water, plenty of water, plenty of rest can be taken. And there are some techniques, there are some steps you can follow, that before breastfeeding, before feeding your infant, you are supposed to apply hot compression, so that this can relax your breast tissue and baby get feed easily, so there is no problem. So, and after feeding you are supposed to clean the area properly with the warm cloth or hot cloth. You are supposed to clean and wipe properly, so there is no leftover milk, there is no infection, and there is no problem. And after feeding you are supposed to you apply the cold compression, so that the relaxed tissue can get with the normal shape and normal, everything gets normal. After before feeding you are supposed to apply the hot compression, and after feeding you are supposed to apply cold compression, so tissue gets normal, there is no problem. So these are the basic steps you can follow avoiding to get this mastitis infection. Now we will be talking about the allopathic part of treatment. See, in allopathy you have, obviously this is a kind of, if you have bacterial infection, so this is the kind of bacterial infection given antibiotics. And if you have high rise temperature, if you have pain, so in case of high rise temperature, obviously there are antipyretic medicine you have for fever, analgesics, painkiller you have. If you have severe pain, so you can have antibiotic, antipyretic, or analgesics, or we call it painkiller. You can have these medicines. Now we will be talking about the best effective homeopathy medicine or top homeopathy medicine to treat mastitis. If we talk about homeopathy medicine, this depends completely on the patient history, because in homeopathy there is individualization. Medicines are based on the individual symptom, on the holistic approach. Every case is different, so medicine will be different for every individual on the basis of their symptom, right? So we will be talking about first Aconite napellus. So these are the homeopathy medicine. You just focus on the medicine name. Company can be, you are belong to any place, any country, doesn't matter. The medicine name should be the same. If you are having the same symptom, company can be anything related with your place. So this is the Aconite napellus, 30 or 200 potency. This is the potency written on it. This medicine has dropper, so you are supposed to have this medicine directly if you are having in dropper form. So 2 to 3 drops twice or thrice in a day before meal. You can have it before meal, twice or thrice, or till your symptoms subside, or regularly you are supposed to use it regularly for minimum 2-4 weeks till your symptom gets subside or you get improved. So this is the indication of aconitis, that you have sudden attack of that, and you have anxiety also. There is a mental symptom also, anxiety with mastitis can be used. Now we will be talking about the belladonna, again the very effective medicine in cases of mastitis. So belladonna is used when you have the high rise fever also, and belladonna key symptom is redness. So there is a more redness, there is a more temperature, and there is a severe pain and sudden attack of the mastitis. Belladonna can be used same 30 or 200 potency, liquid form 2 to 3 drops directly on tongue. If you have any problem while having direct medicine, so you can add some water, 1 or 2 tablespoon of water, 5 or 8 drops depending that you are adding medicine. Twice or thrice again, you are supposed to use single medicine at a time depending on your symptom, what are the symptom you are having. So you are supposed to use 3-4 weeks till your symptoms get better or subside. Now we will be talking about Bryonia alba. Bryonia alba, again very good medicine in cases of mastitis. Bryonia is given when you have motion aggravation, or you have when you breastfeed, there is a pain, there is a severe pain, and there is a stony hardness, there is a hardness in the breast tissue. So Bryonia is given in these cases, and Bryonia 30 or 200 potency can be used, same 2 to 3 drops twice or thrice before meal, 2 to 4 weeks, better till your symptom gets better. Croton tig we are having. Croton tig is again very good medicine in cases of mastitis. Croton tig is given when you have a severe pain, intolerable excruciating pain when you have, so you can use Croton tig. Croton tig is given when while breastfeeding there is a backache, you have pain in lower back while breastfeeding. So Croton tig is a very good medicine, you can use using 4 weeks or till your symptoms get better. Now we will be having Hepasulf. See, Hepasulf is the medicine in homeopathy when the patient is very sensitive, kind of sensitive to touch, sensitive to pain, sensitive to cold. So this is the medicine, cold aggravation. Hepasulf is given, and when there is a pus formation, accumulation of pus, means there is a abscess formation. So Hepasulf can be used same like 2 to 3 drops twice or thrice before meal orally. Uses of medicine will be same, but symptoms differ from patient to patient, from medicine to medicine. And Salisha is also can be used if you have pus formation or any kind of abscess formation while you have problem. So you are requested, you are supposed to use one medicine at a time depending on your symptom, what symptom you are having. So if you have 2 patients, one is having the mastitis with the pain, backache, and one is having mastitis with pus formation. So for backache it will be Croton tig, and for pus formation it can be Hepasulf and Salisha. So medicine can be different in a different individual, but disease can be same. The same both are having mastitis. So these are the homeopathy medicine can be used for treating mastitis. Hopefully this video can give you some help. So if you find this video helpful, knowledgeable, informative, please you can share this video, you can like this video, and you subscribe our channel if you are not subscribed yet. And you can subscribe, you can press the bell icon to get notified easily. We have our Hindi YouTube channel also, so and you can get notified easily. If you are watching on YouTube, there are end screens on the YouTube for different videos, so you can press on them to get more information about that. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much.